My name's Helen. I am a research support officer. I work at the Focus Research Centre at Cheltenham General. I caught COVID in May of 2022. I had general symptoms. I think nothing too major. Flu-like muscle aches, fatigue. The fatigue was the worst thing. Breathlessness. Um, and I think after I had COVID, after I'd recovered from COVID, I had maybe a short period where I didn't feel too bad, although I had this fatigue that felt like it wasn't going away. And I think over time, over the next couple of months, the fatigue just got worse and worse, and it got to the point where I was phoning the GP, trying to get some help, not understanding what was going on, and not really getting anywhere. So yeah, I had a period of a couple of months where I really didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand long COVID. I just knew that I had this overwhelming fatigue that was impacting my life, and I didn't quite know how to deal with it. So yeah, that was the start of it all. I think as it went on, it was probably about July time, that I suddenly started to think. I think actually my manager mentioned it to me, to be honest, and I thought, yeah, that's something. It's an idea. It could be, and I think it was just because, like I said, the fatigue just carried on, and there was no let up. And like I said, I kept phoning the GP. I was told it was multiple things. I was told I was probably having symptoms of the menopause. I was told I was depressed, all manner of things, and nothing that helped me come to the conclusion that it was long COVID. But I think from that point, from probably July, I was thinking, yeah, this could be what it is. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The first time it was formally mentioned to me was at my Working Well appointment in August. That was the end of August, and the lady said, yes, she said, you've got chronic fatigue syndrome, stroke ME, which is due to long COVID. And it was like a eureka moment. It was just, and I went straight to my GP and I said, this is what I've been diagnosed with. Interestingly, she didn't actually accept that diagnosis until I was formally diagnosed, if you like, at the long COVID clinic in January. So there was a bit of a time frame then from maybe August through to January where it still was not really recognised that this was long COVID. So although I felt better, I felt validated, I felt, yep, somebody's actually recognised that there's something wrong with me. It wasn't until January when the long COVID clinic confirmed it then again, and then my GP sort of listened a little bit and was like, right, okay, yes. I suppose the biggest, the most debilitating symptom is the fatigue. That is something that I've never experienced before. It's constant, it never goes away. It fluctuates throughout the day, but it never actually goes away. And I get muscle aches, terrible muscle aches, which are mimicking the fatigue, I guess. And they're also associated with, I have a loss of muscle tone in my upper body. So now I struggle to do anything overhead, any reaching, any brushing hair, stretching, anything at all. Oh gosh, I have palpitations now. That's a new symptom. So that started about 6 months ago. So they'll wake me up in the middle of the night and my heart's just beating. And so that was a change. Oh gosh, I have unrefreshed sleep. So I'll wake up in the morning and feel absolutely exhausted, like I've not even slept. And a heaviness, an absolute heaviness in the morning when I wake up, so I can't actually move first thing. Oh gosh, brain fog. I've got the whole brain fog thing. And that's hard work, because I get difficulty when I'm concentrating, and if I concentrate too hard on something, I find that I get this pressure in my head, and it feels like my head's full of concrete. And then the word finding becomes a problem, so that can be quite embarrassing. even simple words that I should know, I'll struggle to get those out. Um, and another new one is shortness of breath. I never had shortness of breath until probably a few months ago. And now, if I'm walking or I exert myself too much, but too much means empty the dishwasher or try and put some washing out, I'll find that yeah, I'm getting quite short of breath. So
Yeah.
yeah, a whole host of symptoms like I think we all have really. So from a day-to-day basis, or a daily basis, I guess, even getting up out of bed, washing, trying to get dressed, like I said, even brushing my hair, trying to put my hair up is really difficult. Getting dressed is really hard work. Um, Eating, I've realized, I thought it was just me, but I've actually found out that eating is, obviously, it does use an awful lot of energy,
Mm.
and I hadn't realized, why I was struggling to eat. So yeah, on a day-to-day basis, even making a cup of coffee, tipping the kettle, I can't lift the kettle up properly. So on a day-to-day basis, yeah, doing your normal activities is a huge struggle. Um, but bigger than that, I suppose, I can't do the cleaning anymore in the house. I don't clean. I struggle to iron because it's that movement. Oh gosh, everything that I probably used to be able to do, making the bed, I don't make the bed anymore, change the bed rather, oh god,
Mm.
everything. It's had a massive impact, I think, on uh, everything, even shopping. I don't go shopping anymore. I have my shopping delivered. Um, so yeah, it's had a yeah, it's had a profound effect, I think. Um, yeah, everything. I think it's just safe to say that everything's hard work.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that even the smallest of things that you, as a healthy person, you probably wouldn't think takes effort.
Mm.
Even brushing teeth. I have to sit down to brush my teeth. So I mean, it's silly, silly little things which you might not think takes effort, but it takes a lot more effort, and
Yeah.
it's hard work. Yeah, yeah. That's been really hard, I think. I think for me, the biggest impact is on my husband. I feel so sorry for him. I bleat on about how my life has changed and how things are so much more difficult. Um, but he's there watching all this happen and
Mm.
seeing me so unwell. Uh, and he can't do anything about it. He can't fix me. He can't make me better. Um, so for me, that's the biggest. That's almost like that's the guilt coming out as well, because I feel like I've impacted on his life as well now. So that makes it really difficult. We don't do anything that we used to do. We don't, we used to love going into town, going out for lunch, going out for meals, uh, an ad hoc weekend away, and we can't do ad hoc now. Ad hoc doesn't
Yeah.
happen. Everything needs planning. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is the impact it's having on him. Um, Wider friends and family, um, I feel that's hard because they actually don't see what my husband sees. So they
Mm.
don't see me at my worst. They'll see me like I am, where I'm just happy and smiley and yeah, I'm okay really, but I'm not okay. And I guess they don't see the impact that this is having. So I think there's a massive lack of understanding there. So I think that makes life difficult as well, because yeah, it's hard to get across how bad this is really. I'd say that's one of the biggest things as well, after the physical impact that this has. Um, Again, like I said, it's the guilt. It's the whole, I'm now a burden. I'm now this person that needs other people to do things for me, uh, and I think it's the I talk about grief of that person that I used to be. I've lost that
Mm.
person, and I've lost my identity as well. I'm not. I'm not the person I used to be. I can't do all those things that I used to do and that defined me, if you like. So now I think there's that complete shift in I've got to learn to be this new person that I don't like because she's particularly lazy and doesn't really do a lot. And when she does do a lot, she's got to go and sit down again. So I think there's that whole, yeah, that the emotional side of it is huge, I think. Um, and there's a lot of thoughts of negative thoughts because you can't see yourself coming out of this. You don't know when this is going to finish or if it's ever going to end. So I guess there's that whole, what is the point of my life now? What am I doing? Where am I going with this? What's around the corner? Do we get to have our life back again? And if not, well, that's pretty rubbish, isn't it? So yeah, the emotional aspect is, again, it's huge, I think. In the beginning, I did feel very abandoned. I didn't feel like there was any support whatsoever. And like I said, that latter part of the year, once I knew I had long COVID, but before I was formally diagnosed, then it was almost like you're on your own. It was up to me to sort out or work out what was going on. I had no clue. It was up to me to do all the research, look into it. What is it? Oh gosh, this is a thing. This is actually happening. I was with the chronic fatigue service for a year. So I had the long COVID clinic appointment, but they discharged me to the chronic fatigue service. So I was with them for a year, which was great. I had support. I had monthly meetings, virtual meetings. So the support element was really good, and that was crucial, I think. However, I'm just starting to learn now. I've now been discharged from the chronic fatigue service, and I'm now with the long COVID clinic. I've been with them for about a month. And what I've noticed is I've got huge support. They're referring me to many different members of the multidisciplinary team. I've had, I think, 5 referrals to different people, and it's almost like, yes, okay, somebody's listening to me. This is really good. This is really, it's nice to just feel validated again, I guess, that this is their understanding and signposting me to different people. I would say the other main element of support that I've received is through support groups, 100% through long COVID support groups like the staff support group, and other ones that I've accessed, because you're getting lived experiences, you're listening to other people, you have those people who totally get what you're saying. And that's been invaluable, I think, just to understand that you feel very isolated. You feel very much like it's just you out there and nobody can really help. So that, to me, before I had this support with the long COVID clinic, I feel like that was fundamental in helping me, really. Yeah. So the main reaction I think I would get when I'm saying I've got long COVID is, oh, is that still a thing? It's almost that, oh, COVID is gone, so how come long COVID is still about? That's frustrating, because it clearly is, and it's clearly going to be for quite a long time. So there is that lack of understanding in that way. But I think once people understand, they can be really supportive, and it's nice to get that reaction then, once people realise exactly what it is you're trying to get across. But it is just trying to get. I think I'm talking about family and friends now. I think a lot of people think that I just get very tired, and I think their perception is, oh, Helen gets tired easily. She needs to go and sit down a bit more. And once she's sat down, she's okay. What they don't see is the profound effect that it's having. It's not just, oh, a bit tired, I've got to sit down. It's overwhelming debilitation, overwhelming not being able to function. on a daily basis. So that's where I think that lack of understanding comes in, because clearly 90% of the time I think I look fairly well. It's only when really struggling that I start to then look like I'm unwell. So I think that doesn't help either. That's that feeds that thought of, oh, she looks okay, so I'm sure she's all right. I guess it's just having that understanding of, do you know what, she might look really well, but it might well be that she isn't really. And the effort that it's taken her to even get into work has probably, wiped her out for the rest of the day. And I guess, I think for me, it's probably ask. Don't be afraid to ask. I think the big thing is, like I said, the lack of understanding. But I feel that it's sometimes it's difficult to ask about things that you don't really understand. And like I said, I don't think I'm the only one, but I don't think we're very good at telling people how we're feeling and putting that onto people when they don't necessarily, or if they haven't asked. It's you're putting on to other people. So if somebody was to ask and say, so what's this all about? How does this actually affect you? What does it do? Then yeah, I'm more than happy to explain. And I feel like that's where the whole understanding thing comes in, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult, because I've said many a time, I wouldn't know before this. I wouldn't have a clue what the effect is of this or any other fatigue illnesses. You just don't have an idea, and you don't need to. You're not expected to. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask, I think, is another thing. That one, I would say 100%, it's do as I say and not do as I do. Ask for help. 100%, you have to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's 100%, it's a sign of courage, I think, and strength, when you can say, or you can admit, look, I'm not managing too well with this at the minute. Can you help me? Could you go and get me something from the shop? Could you just spend a bit of time just to help me to go and get things, whatever. It makes a world of difference when you've got the support in place. So don't be afraid to ask. Do ask for help, and find the long COVID support groups. Do it. Seek them out. They're there, and they're full of people who can understand completely what you're going through. So seek them out, 100%.